Greetings, everyone. Adina and I are having I believe it's our ninth segment of Pussy Podcast. We have been making several attempts to go live on her page, and we have been having to go live on my page. Here she comes. Abracadabra, abracadabra, abracadabra. Accept. Huh. Let's see. Adina. Invite. Accept. All right, you all. Gosh, this is really something today. It seems as though IG is having IG is having some. All right. It's it is what it is. Hmm. All right, y'all. Okay. I guess today we're not going to do our live. All right, Adina. It's not working. I have accepted it. I accept it each time. Ah!
Hey, sorry.
No,
Trying to
what
turn
are
my
you
camera
sorry
around.
for?
I'm trying to turn my camera around.
Oh,
Hello,
we
darlings.
girl, we got her in
Darlings.
here. Hello, darling.
Darlings. We are here, darlings.
Oh my gosh, what a journey getting here. But we're here. We made it.
Mm-hmm. We made it. And it's
So
number
welcome.
9. Number 10. This is number 10.
Oh, welcome to our 10th
Mm-hmm.
edition of Pussy
Ashe.
Podcast. The Liberated Pussy. The
There we
Liberated
go.
Pussy
Not
Podcast.
just pussy. What kind of
Right.
pussy is it?
It's free pussy.
There we go. There we go.
Not as free, not like free you don't have to pay for it, but free
Exactly.
like
Not
it
like
can
it
do
don't
what
cost nothing.
it is free to be itself.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
welcome. How you doing today?
I'm doing fantastic today. Absolutely wonderful.
Nice,
Hmm.
nice.
Hmm. How about
Well, we're
you?
gonna. I am. How I am anticipating some shifts happening. We
Hmm.
are in the last day of clearing for the
Hmm.
Scorpio new moon,
Hmm.
and this Scorpio energy is so deep because it's
Hmm.
ancestral patterns,
Hmm.
sexuality,
Hmm.
um, other people's money.
Yes.
It's it's um, it's shame and guilt and all those things that we are, that I find myself attempting to avoid, like
Hmm.
the feelings that are hard to
Hmm.
integrate. And so I'm with that stuff. I'm like, all right. So
Hmm.
today I'm working to lean into it. I'm like, lean
Okay.
into it.
Lean in. Lean in. We're not avoiding. We're not running. We leaning in.
We are leaning in.
Hmm.
So what's our topic today?
Our topic today is attraction. It was born out of a conversation that you and I had maybe last week, but about what things attract us. What are we conscious of? Are we consciously dealing with attraction, or are we just going in the direction of, what is it, like least resistance, that kind of thing? Or are you going with what you feel? Are you in touch with that? For me, attraction is sacred. I
Mm-hmm.
really think about the things that have drawn me and why, and I listen to those things. So it's a sacred conversation with myself and the universe acting as this person outside of myself.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, that's how I feel. That's how I define attraction. I know it's sacred, and I know that it's medicine there for me. That's what I think about attraction.
That's really powerful. So if if you know that it's medicine there for you, how does that work in your well, let me ask you this. Do you think that attraction is just about men and women, like it, or what do you think attraction is? You know, like I feel like we might give it like this definition around like relationships, but
Yeah,
attraction is everything,
it
wouldn't you
is.
think?
Yeah, I truly think it's everything. I think making love is like everything. It's like the interaction with the other, recognizing that the other is a reflection of myself. So men and women is a part of it, but I could be attracted to a friend, and it's not necessarily just a sexual attraction, but there's a draw there. And
Mm-hmm.
that's what I'm speaking of. I am awake to the draw. I'm awake to those things that ignite me and that pull me in a direction, or say, hey, there's something here, something here for you. And I try to go in those directions when I can.
Yeah.
So that's what I mean.
Yeah, that feels to me like the core of feminine energy.
Mm. Mm-hmm.
Like at our core as women who live from the feminine, because you can live from the masculine, you know what I mean? Like,
Right.
so we don't want to start a dialogue believing that there is only one type of woman and that we are the same kind of woman all the time. Sometimes you're
Right.
living from your masculine, sometimes you're living
Right.
from your feminine, but at the core of feminine is this magnetic pull.
Yes. Yes. Of
And
drawing things to me, and then looking at the things that I'm drawn to. So
yes,
that magnetism, that dynamism,
yes.
yes.
Yes, the thing that's also that brings up for me is like in nature, like we see, like when I started studying, I realized that sex is everything. Like we
Mm-hmm.
just as humans think of sex as something romantic or
Mm-hmm.
penises and vaginas, but bees in a flower are having
Mm-hmm.
sex, because
Mm-hmm.
sex
Mm-hmm.
is really just two opposites coming together to create a
That's
whole.
all it
That's
is.
all
It's
sex
so
is,
beautiful.
right?
Yes.
So when you have that definition of it, it creates like a more expansive experience of it. It's
Mm-hmm.
like
Mm-hmm.
the sun and the moon are two opposites coming together to make a whole. A whole
Mm-hmm.
day is created by the sun through the day and the moon through the night.
Mm-hmm.
That is creating something.
Right.
A seed to the earth.
Right.
You put a seed in the earth, the
Mm-hmm.
seed in the earth create a flower, a plant,
Yeah.
a
It's
tree.
another beautiful creation.
That's
you know,
right.
a plug and a socket
That's
creates,
right.
the life of, or the animation of whatever that thing that's being electrified. So yeah, I see that as all as love making, as two halves coming, or not even halves, but two opposites, like you
Opposite.
said, coming together, because they're whole and complete in themselves, but together they create something greater.
Yes, they
Mm-hmm.
create something more. They create
Mm-hmm.
something different than the two.
Yeah.
Um, so with that definition, I would say attraction for me is really magic because
Mm-hmm.
it's this, it's this, it's this pull. It's this, and it sometimes something pulls me from external, or it appears that it's pulling me from external, but
Mm-hmm.
really it's this internal like vacuum. And
Mm-hmm.
one of the things that I'm so aware of is that the universe doesn't leave anything void. So the universe always fills up empty spaces.
Right.
So when I have attraction going on, it's because I'm calling something to me to fill up a space that has been created.
Ashe. So when I hear that, I think of when people might feel sad, or people might be feeling lack, and then they use things, external things, to fill a space. That
Yes.
might not necessarily be seen as the healthiest thing to do, but I understand that we're moving ourselves to a better feeling place. I get that.
Yes.
Now, when we talked about attraction from the standpoint of two wholes coming together to create something new, I'm seeing it as I just am mindful not to make it like filling voids with just stuff, like random
Yeah.
stuff. So that's what I wanted to say.
Yeah, well, that's really powerful because I know that I have spent a lot of time filling voids with random stuff. I feel
Mm-hmm.
like most of the men that I have had in my life have been born out of some sort of,
They were
and I'm not saying
random
this as an
stuff.
insult. I'm not. I'm really speaking to my own
Mhm.
sense of scarcity and sense
Mhm.
of trauma and
Mhm.
woundedness, because we can only attract that which we are. That's the thing
Mhm.
that we have to really understand.
Right.
And if, as women, just at the basic level, if we're attracting relationships that don't feel good to us, it's because we don't feel good inside of
Right.
ourselves. We don't feel whole in and of ourselves. So you
Right.
can only attract your mirror.
Yeah. You want to attract at the level that you're at, and people don't get that. Like they're saying, "Oh, he was toxic, and he was this, and he was that." It's like all you're doing is telling on yourself.
That's right. That's
If
right.
he was toxic, you toxic. It's like, oh, what?
Right.
That part. That
And
part.
it's a beautiful opportunity. That's why we get to use relationships as an opportunity to see where we are with ourselves.
Yeah.
So if we are attracting someone who's toxic, it's not
Mhm.
to judge that or make that
Mhm.
wrong. It's to be grateful that the universe is showing you yourself, but
Mhm.
then also understanding, well, what is it that I need to heal? Where is my work?
Relationship as medicine. There we go again. It's your medicine. And sometimes our medicine is yucky to taste, but and this is the real medicine, not the crap you get from the pharmacy and things like this. This
Yeah.
is the medicine that can actually make your life better as you come to it, as you don't run from it, as you go ahead and take it and look at that place in yourself that needs to be healed.
Yeah.
So that's how I see it, as medicine and as an opportunity to get better.
Yes,
Mhm.
yes, yes. I feel like I've learned incredible lessons around um, healing, because one of the things that I'm very aware of is that we're carrying so much ancestral karma
Yeah.
and trauma, and at this time on the planet. Um, and it's we're living at a time when we're being, like, sort of, I don't want to say tricked into, because nothing is really a trick, but we're being sort of forced to step over our trauma. We're being, as,
Mhm.
like, say, let's just talk about as Black women, right?
Mhm.
In this country, there has never been a big communal uh, opportunity to look at what has happened to Black people
Mhm. Mhm.
in this nation. Look at, like, I've done it individually, and
Mhm.
I have studied and I understand what slavery really was. Like, not so long ago, I was studying something and came upon, and I don't remember names and things like that, but came upon this information that said there was a plantation in Texas that had about 2,000
Mhm.
slaves, and most of those slaves were were children of the slave master.
Which is so wild to me. Like these are your kids, and I'm like, they're like, so pick that cotton. That meant zero.
It meant it was money. It was
Yeah.
money. It
Mhm.
was, and they were
Mhm.
creating their own. Like, they felt like that was good to do. Like, there
Mhm.
was
Mhm.
nothing wrong in their minds with what they were doing, and
No.
I try my best to be as neutral as
Mhm.
possible,
Mhm.
because my mind will naturally say, "Oh, that's wrong," or "That's,"
Mhm.
like somebody just said, "That's
It's
disgusting,"
disgusting.
right?
Yeah.
And I
Yeah.
get it, and I get it,
Mhm.
right?
I feel a
So
way
what?
about it. Like that piece, I'm still healing on because it's annoying to me. Sex was definitely a part of the whole slave trade. It was all mixed in there, you know?
Right, right.
Hmm.
But my point being is that we haven't taken the time in our families, in our
Hmm.
culture, in our social experiences to do the work to heal the energy, right? Y'all
Hmm.
don't laugh at Adina's little jokes. Don't laugh at her,
That's
y'all.
Winifred. That's one of my mamas. She said, pick that cotton. Tell that kid to pick that cotton. I don't care if you my son. You better get bail that hay.
Stop. I don't want to laugh.
You don't want to laugh. We got to get it out. Okay, it's
Oh
part of the
my God, it's
medicine.
hilarious
Mhm.
though. That's
Mhm.
hilarious. So, so, and you know what? Laughing really is one of the ways to heal it. It really truly
Mhm.
is. So I
Mhm.
definitely, but my point being is that so in this particular region of this man had 2,000 slaves,
Mm-hmm.
and we, like I said, we haven't done the work as a
Mm-hmm.
community, as a
Mm-hmm.
country,
Mm-hmm.
um, to heal the trauma of those experiences. And so because we carry the trauma in our bodies, we
Mm-hmm.
will continue to attract trauma driven connections
Yes,
because the trauma has not been
because
healed.
it's there, like you cannot attract what's not in there. Like you're going to attract what's there.
That's right.
If it wasn't there, then we would attract something different. So that's
That's
the
right.
piece that needs to be
That's
healed. That's the
right.
piece that needs to be
That's
healed.
right.
So I
And
feel
that's
you
the piece
wholeheartedly.
of the attraction piece, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like really understanding
Mm-hmm.
that we are attracting the medicine that
Yes.
will heal us.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes that medicine tastes like poison.
Yeah, it's harsh. It can be harsh. If you think of the depths of trauma, that's gonna be some yucky medicine to balance that out,
Yeah.
like the moon balanced the sun, the electric, like all of those things we just named. What's balancing that? What's the medicine for that trauma?
That's right. That's right. So one of the things that's really challenging is in our work, we understand that we create our realities. And there have been times, I remember one time I was doing lives here on Facebook, on Instagram, and I was talking about how women attract everything. And one woman was like, don't say that we attract rape. Don't say we attract it. And I was like, I'm not trying to hurt your feelings.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just telling you how the universe works. And
Yeah.
you might not be able or ready to face that inside
Mm-hmm.
of yourself. But like I keep saying, we carry ancestral wounds.
Yeah.
We might be running a energetic system that belongs to our great grandmother,
Mm-hmm. Not
and
might
maybe
be. We are.
that's right. And your great
Mm-hmm.
grandmother may have been in an environment where she was
Mm-hmm.
being
Yeah.
raped over and over and over again.
And you as a seed were in her womb, at the time. So yeah, that's a part of this thing.
That's
Yeah.
right. That's right.
Mm-hmm.
So it is really important. Tahuti Ra'el said, the secret science and the science of love speak well on this.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you. That's so kind. But yeah, so it's important for us to get to a place, like you can't ignore your feelings. I've done a lot of healing now,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm not as triggered by things, but I remember there was a time when my mind was short circuit, literally could not hold certain ideas around, like, oh, I did something that attracted this, or my great grandmother's energy is right. I just couldn't hold the capacity for that. And so it would short circuit me, and I would, you know what I mean? Or I would move into emotions and move into a puddle. Like it was a very real thing. And so we must get to a place where we can begin to cipher through the things going on in our lives without being so triggered by it that we have to run from it. Yes. And that's the work of Goddess Gathering.
Ashe. That was the conversation you and I just had recently, really, was that I was personally realizing the things that I was avoiding, the things that I was avoiding. And now, like, first you got to become aware to it, got to become awake to it.
Yeah.
And so once you become awake to it, then you can start to do the work. But many of us, and for many times, we're just not awake to it yet. Yes. But as we walk in our goddess consciousness, that is part of it, becoming awake to those things so that you can do them, so that you up level to your next level of work. Yes. Like it keeps going.
It does keep going. But the thing that is really important for people to know who haven't done this kind of work yet, or who feel like it's too much, is that really all we're doing is alchemizing energetics, because you carry the energy of the mothers that have come before you. You carry the energy of 7 generations backwards, and your energy is propelling towards 7 generations forward. So the work that your mother didn't do, you are going to do. The work that her mother didn't do, you are going to do. So by the time you might get to it, if it's been going on for generations, it feels deeply overwhelming. It feels really difficult, Like, how was it for you when you first started looking at your own work? How was that for you?
I felt overwhelmed. Like I need another word to describe the feeling. It felt like I couldn't do it. It felt like it was too much. Like I don't know where the beginning is. Like I don't know where to start. And so what I told myself was like, well, I'm gonna just start where I'm standing, like right where I am. I'm gonna start right here. I don't have to go to the beginning. I don't have to go to the end. You know, if that means I need to make a pathway in right here and start there, like when you gotta clean up a messy room and everything looks a mess, just start where you are. So it may sound simple, but it felt like I felt anxious. And that's one thing I did in my meditation today is really noticing the anxious energy that I have when I feel like too much is coming at me at once. And that's where my breath comes in, my breath work, you know, really slowing down to the practice and knowing that I can't really do it wrong. Like whatever I choose to do in this moment, however I'm healing, that helps move the whole consciousness of us all forward. So just do what's in front of you right now. And then when you get to the next step, do that, you know, and recognizing that the things that I'm drawn to and the things that are drawn to me are sacred, and taking the time to delve into what the lesson and the medicine of that attraction, what it came to bring me, what it came to teach me. And all of that has been incredibly beautiful when I work it and seeing what unfolds from working it, you know, in me and in the other. I'm not even really doing it for the other. I'm doing it for me. But when I do it for me, then it's a blessing that just blesses all the way around. So
what would you say has been one of the greatest lessons you've learned about yourself from something or someone that you've been attracted to?
Okay, one of the greatest lessons. Well, and it's funny, I said this today, seeing myself through the eyes of another, recognizing that the other is me, helped me love myself better. So being loved and loved unconditionally, you know, it's not about what you do or what you say or anything, but just being loved for who I am helped me to love myself that way too. So that kind of just acceptance of even when you fuck up and even when you got, you know, like your hair ain't right or you don't have your cutest shit on, just being loved just for the basis of who you are. It's not about anything external. It's about what doesn't change. And that kind of love is so grounding, you know? Like if I thought I was floating all around or whatever, it just kind of brought me home to me. Like if someone can love me that way, I can love me that way. It gave me the courage to even love myself deeper and to really be on my square and to do it. Like they held it for me when I couldn't hold it for myself, if that makes sense. Like they showed me, they gave me a box to develop in so that I wasn't just a seed just floating out in the wind. It's like, this is a patch of grass you could grow here. Okay. All right. I'm gonna stop and put my roots here and grow there. And as I grew, I was like, oh wow, thank you for grounding me so that I could let my roots go deeper and really understand what it is and who it is that I am. So the love really, I've healed in love. Love has really helped me heal on a whole lot of different levels.
So you've attracted love that has helped you heal. That's the greatest lesson.
That's the greatest lesson. Yeah.
Yes, that's powerful. Winnijeg here says, my grandfather said our family motto, no one is better than us. You shoot, we shoot back. Love us, we love on you.
I say. That's Mama Winifred. She ain't playing today.
That is so great. I would say that the greatest thing I've learned from my attractions is that what I think about myself and I don't need anyone to affirm it for me. I'm not gonna find what I'm looking for outside of myself. If I don't have it inside of myself, then I cannot have it outside of myself. So I feel like my attractions have really taught me to come home to myself, to trust myself, to have faith in myself, to honor myself, to uphold myself. And that's been interesting because I see the world in ways that what we've been taught is completely doesn't make sense to me, right? Like
Mhm.
I've always been a cosmos girl. I've always seen a bigger picture, and I have tried to fit in and do this thing that the world says is acceptable to do. And anytime I've ever done it, it has been poison. I have had to
Mhm.
take poison. Anytime I've
Mhm.
ever done it, it's like, this is not who I am. And I had to realize it's because I am denying myself
Mhm.
that I attract people who would deny me.
Mm. Yeah, you're just seeing yourself. You're
That's
just
right.
seeing yourself. And that's
Yeah.
all it is. I think if people could get that your attractions are just you projected outside of you, then you have more grace with that. You know, you'd
Yes.
be more allowing. Because if you try to act like your attractions aren't your attractions, okay, you can do that for as long as you want. You're just lying to yourself. You know,
Yes.
someone
Yes.
said that her attractions taught her about her own power. Exactly.
Yes.
Exactly. I agree.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Mhm.
So, Adina and we have a community called Goddess Gathering.
Mm.
And do you want to share what this work is about, since you are the lead
Absolutely.
facilitator?
Absolutely. So, Goddess Gathering is an opportunity for women to come together and to do this healing work, to know ourselves, to know our power, and to attract better because we clean up what's inside of us and we put love there so that we attract that on the outside. So, this is a group of women from all over the world who are healing together in a virtual village.
Mm-hmm.
We come together, we heal, we do the rituals, we work through things, we have fun too. We're
Mm-hmm.
right now online, but we are planning some retreats in 2024. So this is
Mm-hmm.
going to be beautiful. And we meet every Thursday. Thursday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time is 5 p.m. Pacific Standard
Mm-hmm.
Time. And what we've been working on these last 4 weeks have been sacred relationships, sacred union.
Mm-hmm.
And it's been really amazing. We've been delving into our relationship report card and understanding what lessons those relationships came to teach us. And man, is it good. It's good work. Because when you
Yeah.
know that it's really just about you.
Yes.
You
Yes.
really
It
know
is.
that.
We have, and I love this because the reason we're in sacred, having a conversation about sacred relationships and sacred communion is because the sun is in Scorpio. And Scorpio is about the depths of our connections. It's about our sexual connections. It's about our ability to have two wholes come together and create something new,
That
right? Whether
sounds
that,
like you said two hoes.
no, no, not two hoes, two whole beings, two whole people.
It could be two hoes or two
It could be
holes.
two hoes. It could be, right? But the thing that I love about the work so much is that when we have the courage to really look at ourselves and own it and take responsibility for it, and to not make someone else responsible. I feel like as women, or what I'm seeing in social media, a lot of blaming men. He did this. Men are this way. Men are that way. Men are, and women are this way and women are that way, and not understanding that, for me, I understand that we are shifting as human beings right now. Like, our old contracts, the age of Pisces is collapsing, you all. Like, the way we have done love relationships and romance and all of that stuff, the way that we have done these relationships is ending.
Yeah.
So, because of that, things end while simultaneously new things begin.
You did. Yes, it's just the beginning.
That's right. And
Mhm.
so, just like you graduate from the sixth grade and then you
Mhm.
go to the seventh grade,
Mhm.
that's what's happening in our cosmology right
Mhm.
now. We are ending one cycle and beginning another. And we are the human beings that are born to live through this. We
Mhm.
are born for this assignment. You
Ashe.
wouldn't be here if you were not born for
Mhm.
this assignment.
Mhm.
So, because we're born for this, that means that we have the mindset, we have the energy, we have the resources to do the work.
Mhm. The tools, yeah, we have it all. So let's do it. And that's what we're doing in Goddess Technology.
Yes.
We're actually doing the work to concentrically up level our spirit, in this lifetime, in the now. And so as we do it for ourselves, we do it for our families, we do it for our mates, we do it for our sisters, we do it for our mothers, we do it for our grandmothers. We're doing it front and back. And it's really quite beautiful. It's really quite beautiful. So the doors of the church are now open. It's women of all ages, okay? It's not like just one age, but we do have, I mean, these are grown-ass women up in here, women who've lived some life and understand some things and come from a place of really ready to do the work and be honest with themselves, because that's where it counts. That's where it counts. Yeah.
That's right.
So coming home to ourselves, that is the work of Goddess Technology and Goddess Gathering. It is a daily walk. It's easy to say, oh, I'm doing it on my own. You know, I gave at church and I'm doing it on my own. But are you really though? Like you read a book and then you're out in the world, you're watching TV, you go to work. How are you doing it on your own? You need that support around you to support you when it gets hard. When you want to fall off, who is holding you accountable as you do your work? You know, where is your sister, your mirror, who can mirror back to you from an integral place of how to up-level yourself into the next iteration of yourself? So this is what we do. This is what we do. Monique and I do it together as sisters. We do it together in Goddess Gathering as community. And we really are just midwifing ourselves through to our next level, to our greater level. We're getting better, y'all. Y'all gonna watch us. You're gonna be like, dang, they said they was getting better last year. Just wait.
It's better. So true. It is. I feel like I have cleaned up my whole life. I have healed things that I didn't even know. And the reason I didn't know, because it wasn't mine. It was my great-great-grandmother's living through me. It was, you know what I mean? And so, but my whole world is changing. And it's just to be able to see the shifts happening is remarkable. Like I'm not caught up in old relationships. Like, you know, you've been married for 27 years, so that's a different thing. But for me, who's been mostly single most of my life, and other women who understand, you know, you got something from 20 years old where you feel like, oh, such and such did. I've cleaned up all that stuff. I'm not holding on to nothing from 20, 30, 35. I'm free of it because I've done the work to transmute it, because I realized that it was medicine for me. So for those of you who are ready, please come and join us. We are together every day, every Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 5 p.m. You can register in our link tree. Adina is the head facilitator, and she is a fabulous, fabulous teacher. I'm telling you, she brings the information in ways that I'm like, this is so delightful. And she's a dancer. So we do body movement, we do rituals, we have deep conversations, we listen, we hold space for one another. And because we're grown women, nobody's judging anybody, nobody cares. You know, like we've seen all sorts of stuff. Like people are holding shame around, you know, I was attracted to this person, or they had an affair. We don't care about none of that shit. We're here to learn. Everything is here for your opportunity to grow and heal.
The medicine from your relationship, you might not know how to get the medicine from it. You might still be pissed and mad about it. How do you turn that into medicine? How do you turn that anger or that hurt or that sorrow into something that you can use? That's what we do. That's where the ritual comes in. So come on in here, y'all. Come on.
All right.
Goddess Gathering is for you.
All right. We love y'all. You guys can register in our link tree or send us a private message and we'll send you the link. And we meet tomorrow at 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, and we're going to have a really good time. We meet every Thursday.
Every Thursday. Thursday. All right, y'all. Love y'all. Bye.
Blessings. All right. Bye-bye.
Thank you.